we got the identity of this metal. Let's take a look at it here. It says that it's 0.128. So the literature value is 0.128 joules per gram degree centigrade. So let's see how far we're off. Whenever you do a percent error, you take your actual minus your theoretical divided by your theoretical times 100. Okay, so what does actual mean? That means you're experimental. What did I do scratching around with a coffee cup in the basement of FSCJ? That's actual number. All right, and that is 0.114. The theoretical number is what comes out of a trusted book. All right. Let me rephrase that. Not what comes off of Wikipedia. What comes off of a trusted book is 0.128. Taking the absolute value divided by 0.128 times 100. So what is my percent error? 0.114 minus 0.128 is going to be that, divided by 0.128 times 100. So around 10%. 10% error. Now, is that good? Is that bad? It's okay, right? Think about it. If you have a real calorimeter that costs $3,000 that has been calibrated with real thermometers that have been calibrated, do you think your answer would be any closer or no? Sure it would be, right? You take great care in being sure that your answers are close. What's the point of the story? Right here in a community college lab, getting that close with a thermometer and a coffee cup is pretty good. All right, and I hope that illustrates if you were doing it for real. So let's talk about if you were doing science for real. What would change? First off, you see that thermometer I'm using back there? That's called a thermocouple. And the way that works is it measures temperature based on resistive changes. In other words, when the temperature of a metal changes, so does its resistance. So that does that. That would need to have been calibrated and be sure that it works. The balance is the same way. Those things you look on, it says the last time they're calibrated. You see what happens is those things work by like magnetic and electrical fields, and some joker throw their wallet on top of it, do this, do that, pour acid on it, oh God, I'm sorry, okay, whatever. All that messes it up. So every so often you have to re-zero that stuff in. Does that make sense? So that would have changed. And here's another thing that would change. The most important thing is you would never do something once. 3 times is always the way to go in science. All right? You do something 3 times, and then you take the average number, and that is closer to the best way to do it. And actually, a lot of times in science, what you do is you do it once, and I call it the quick and dirty. You do it once and just kind of get kind of a general answer, be sure you got your equations, be sure the things are working. And then you do it 3 more times for real. Does that make sense to you? So a lot of times when I worked in the chemistry lab, the first 3 hours of my day was quick and dirty, getting beakers together, getting temperatures, getting all this together, and running it 1 time. Because see, you kind of want to make sure it's kind of going to work and run out any problems. And then you wipe your counter clean, go to lunch, and you come back and you're like, okay, boys and girls, this is for real. We're going to do it 3 times, and we're going to write everything down. Does that make sense to you? And if you take those great painstaking cares, this number, I promise you, will get closer to 0.128. All right? Is there any questions? None? Well, how did I do with Chapter 4? That's Chapter 4, thermodynamics, right? Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we will probably start in on Chapter 5 tomorrow, hopefully get finished. And then your exam will be on Thursday. Is that good? And we'll probably have Bridget give your exam on Thursday. And if she will, I haven't talked. Have I talked with you about that yet? I have not talked with you about that. Surprise. Okay, then maybe we won't get Bridget to do it. Maybe I'll ask Ryan or someone to do it as well. I can do it if I absolutely have to, I think. I just kind of want to get somebody in my back pocket because I think with travel plans, I may not be able to do it. So anyway, you will have an exam here some way.
So the test covers 1 through 4.
Yes. Well, and whatever we do tomorrow. 1 through 4 and whatever we do tomorrow. I have not made up the test. I will not make up the test until tomorrow because I want to know what's on it. You know what I mean? So whatever we cover up until tomorrow, we'll just simply stop and take a test on it. If we cannot get through Chapter 5 tomorrow, great. We'll just take a test over Chapters 1 through 4 in the first section of Chapter 5. All right. Any other questions? All right. We'll see you next time.